Welcome to Palm Beach Ballers, Florida Ballers. Here we got Brandon Adams, American Heritage, class of 2027.
Yes, sir.
Glad to have you in the office. How you feeling today?
I feel great. It's been a blessed day. Went to church, went to the community center, and then I got a call to come here. Check you guys out, and it's been a blessing. Like honestly, the culture that you guys represent, um, the foundation that you guys and your reason and why as to why you do it. I'm a hard down believer of all the reasons you gave me. I'm excited. You guys are really like family based. Try to have players feel like they're like it's a home. Sense like. So I really appreciate that.
And also, could you let us know more about your history, your background in regards to your family, how you came to play the game of football?
Right. So my history, I never had a father. He left me when I was 2 months. So it's always been my mom. Mom played both roles, father and mother. She did great. She's still doing great. So I thank God for her. My grandparents, they stepped up to in my life. So football has really been like since I was a kid. Me and my cousins playing right there in Revere Beach at Wells, Revere Beach Chargers. We used to play there, and since then it was always like athlete, athlete, athlete. And then I found my own passion. I wanted to pursue law as well. So my upbringing, I'm still trying to pursue law, but on top of that, I do want to ball. I love the game. Came to high school, I was like, okay, this is where I need to, step up. This is where I'm at. So freshman year, played at West Boca, ball, transferred sophomore, junior this past season, American Heritage, ball. And I'm looking forward to this, final 26 season of my senior year, finishing out stronger than the rest of the past years. I'm always working, grinding. It's been instilled in me by my mother, stay humble, keep going, keep working, and everything will come. Another thing is I always have to keep God first in everything that I do. It's always been ingrained in me since I was a kid. I mean, I'm a baby going to church, like with my grandparents. So, it's always been God, and that's pretty much my upbringing right there.
Okay. So what about offensive line? Were you always offensive lineman, or did you play something different when you
No,
started?
so actually, what I like to say is, certain, it's just me. I like to say, offensive linemen are tight ends who became a little overweight.
Yeah, right.
So back when I was playing, Pop Warner Little League, I used to play tight end, defensive end, nose. So I was love being on that side of the ball, tight end. And then as time grew, I got bigger, more solid. So then it was like, oh, I'm looking more suited to play offensive line. Bigger body, solid boy, protect, whoever has the ball. And that aspect of the game I actually enjoy. I love because at the same time I'm always there protector. I get to be dominant. I get to be aggressive. Like that's what I love right there. I love that part. All the flashy catching. Like that's cool, but getting down and dirty, showing that you're really working. Who better? Who big dog? That's what I'm all for right there.
Okay. All right. And who is somebody that you model your game after since you're playing offensive line? Is it anybody in the NFL? Somebody that, a family member that used to play?
So in the NFL wise, person I probably had to give my biggest props to was Trent Williams. I mean, everybody says it, but my reasoning behind it is he really had a brain tumor and had to beat that. Like, and on top of that, he's a freak athlete as a tackle. Like his gameplay right there, his style is unique. It's different. Like, and it inspires me because it's like, okay, I want to do something like that myself. I want to have my own unique play style. I don't want to be the next guy. I want to have my own. Want to be
Mhm.
my guy. So that's one person. My family. I had an uncle. He played at Morehouse. I call him Uncle Bo Dilly. He was a great, great player. But he went chasing his education. Um, so yeah, that's what impacted my game.
Okay. All right. And also, you said you went to West Boca your freshman year. What happened that year and you transferring over to Plantation, even though West Boca has been to the state championship game the last two years. So can you tell us more about that decision?
Right. So, my freshman year at West Boga, I love Coach Potts. Like he was a great guy. Coach Tools, he was a good guy. But it was also like, you know, kind of like on the back burner. Like I was put on the back burner a little bit, so didn't really appreciate that. I felt like I wasn't appreciated as a player. So I was just like, okay, I need to go somewhere where I'm going to be appreciated. Where I got out that I was trying to transfer, and the first people that came my way was Heritage. And it was like I understood the culture, the game. Heritage has always been a renowned program, renowned name. So it was a no brainer. I went to my visit. I fell in love with what they represented, the culture, of the program. Like it feels like a family. Like
Mm-hmm.
so that's why I chose Heritage. Had a great 2 seasons, developed my game even more. Um, and now this is where I stand. I'm a big, great player. So that's my reasoning.
Okay, all right. And at American Heritage Plantation, a lot of talent comes out of there. So, how is it like playing with Malachi Tony, the quarterback that just went to Texas? Can you tell us
Indeed.
more about like that whole situation over there?
Definitely. It teaches us like competitiveness. Competitiveness has always been the main thing. Um, we're always hungry, hungry, hungry. With a short amount of players, we have usually 40 players, so it's like if you're gonna ball, you have to ball. Playing around that culture, that winning culture, the mentality that they had. Like Mally, he always had that mentality. Like he has to go in the game, impact the game, influence however he can. However we got it to get it to win. Like he came off an injury to come win us states as a quarterback. He hasn't played quarterback since little league. Like it's that mentality that pushed us. Carried us to want it even more. Dia's a great quarterback, great kid, humble always. He went Texas. He played quarterback for us. We appreciated him and everything. It was we kind of felt bad though. His season got cut short because that is our quarterback, but he was still there. Supporting us morally, everything. So we knew what we had to get done. At the end of the day. And with him, it was always like we always knew that we were going to be good because we had our quarterback. So,
Okay, all right. And what was the record last year for Heritage?
I want to see. Actually, I got to check because I think the Edna Carr game got recalled as a win.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Was it
like
like two,
10-5, I want to say.
10-5?
Yeah, 10-5. We won. We're 2-time state champs, so we won last year, and the year before, or this past season that just passed.
Okay.
So it was great. Going all the way. It was a too hectic back to back seasons. Like when we were in season, it was hectic, very hectic. Low. It was we didn't think we were making the playoffs. Honestly speaking, like at one point in the season, it was very low motivation at one point, and then it was just like okay, we flipped the switch. We were like we're not going to be a losing program. It was like okay, now we started our practice. We started getting hungry. We were like we need this. We need this. We're going into the playoffs now. We made it. We got a high seed. Um, Last year, games got overturned, overcalled. Allowed us to get even a higher placement. So we knew we had to get the job done, and we went on two back-to-back playoff runs all the way to state champs and still handle business.
So, what's the most important thing about playing offensive line? What's more important to you? Is it like having a strong base or being able to move? What's your technique in regards to being an offensive lineman?
The most important part of my technique has to be, sound with my hands and feet. Like I have to be able to trust my hands and feet that'll get me with my vision. So everything has to align at once. Speed wise, definitely I have to be fast. I have to get out there, catch up with the D line because it's off the ball. Let's say he in the 2 point, I'm always going to be in the three, sometimes the two, and yet I'm still going to be, head behind because their job is to try to contain or get the quarterback. You never know what they're really going to do. So I have to be, focused and ready for anything. Then comes behind the base, staying strong, like working out, weight room. I'm telling you, that's what we preach at Heritage is weight room, weight room, weight room. You gotta get strong. You have to be strong. So that's
Okay,
what my technique is.
all right. And do you consider yourself a zone blocker or a gap scheme blocker?
I would consider myself more so gap scheme than zone. I actually like AV. It's gaps. So it's just easier on the mind, more than zone because zone is like you're really going into space. You're covering space rather than a player. On a player, set player, you know what you got to get done. So
Mm. But you could play both if you really wanted to, right?
definitely versatile player. Play both sides of the ball, or yeah, both sides of the ball. I play on both sides of the line. Right, left, guard and tackle. So very versatile.
How's the looks going in regards to schools? Are you getting any looks, any offers currently?
Yes. Currently, I have lined up 3 visits next month. Starting off with Bethune, Western Kentucky University, and Colgate. Getting a lot of interest from D1 programs. They're just waiting for my off-season development, and that's what I've been working on. Since we won states, it's always got to get to the grind, because I gotta go. I gotta go to the next level. I have to.
Okay, and you said that you're 17 years old. Could you let us know about the numbers that you put up currently at just 17 years old in the weight room and the 40, 10 yard split?
My 40 time I don't have.
You don't
I haven't
have.
ran a 40, so I don't have that. But weight room numbers, right now I'm benching 325 at 17. I weigh 330, so it's a good amount. And then my squat is already at 475, and I'm looking to increase that even more.
Okay, all right. And what do you do on your free time when you're not focusing on football? What do you like to do?
My free time, I like to actually, learn about like stocks. Like he was telling me, I actually have books on stocks and finance because it's something that I think is growing like right now. Like it's important around this economy, especially. Other than that, I mean, being with family, having that that foundation that you need, family, enjoying time with them, my siblings, and then it's just like sometimes it's playing the game. Like you need that time to relax a little bit, but then it's like back to the grind, back to the grind.
Okay, and what you're looking to major in once you go to that university that you end up choosing?
Law, definitely. I wanted to be a lawyer since I can remember in middle school, like I touched on earlier. Um, it's always been the argument that you build to prove that you're right with evidence, proving why the other person's argument is weaker than yours. That's always been my passion right there for law.
What you're looking for in regards to a school? What's the most important to you?
Ensuring that I can benefit in my career for the future, regardless whether it revolves around football or not. The NFL isn't for long, so if it comes, it comes. It'll be a blessing. But my main goal is to set myself up for the future. So that's why law, like, it's a passion. It's a lot of money to be made in law as well. So, but it's a lot of schooling that I have to stay down and go through. So that's gonna be my whole point of my
Okay, and how
journey in
are you
school.
as a puller on offense? Like, what type of puller are you? Are you the one that's able to get anybody on the ground? Like, you're out there in space running with your running backs, receivers.
Yes, anybody, screen pulls, any type of pull. I just walk down, run, knock them every time.
Mhm.
Got to get them. Got to get the job done. Got to open that hole. Even if it's contained, like even if they try to, long arm, wrong arm, still got to take them down every time. Even getting out on screens, sometimes like we had to play. I had to get out all the way to where the corner was, covering the wide receiver all the way from the other side of the ball. I had to get
Yeah.
there. I had to get there, and I did, and it worked out perfectly, just how I was drawn up. So just stir stuff like that.
All right, and American Heritage, you guys play a lot of tough teams. So, what has been the toughest team and the toughest opponent that you faced so far?
So far in my career at American Heritage, I already thought about this. So myself personally, the hardest team that I had to play against was St. Joseph Prep. It was something that I was unprepared for. On national television, it isn't really good. Look, false start like three times.
Hmm.
But it's something that I got used to real quick. Like I had to switch it up with that. um, I had to get ready because what happened was, they would make different calls and you would get confused. Like you would think it's the quarterback right down the cadence. So it's
Hmm.
like, oh, hold on. Then they shift, they move. So then you just have to, you know, be sound, like watch the ball. That's where I learned. Like you have to watch the ball with your own eyes, regardless of because same thing. Thank God it helped in Edna Carr. Like you had to watch the ball because we could not hear anything in that stadium. So but St. Joseph Prep had to be the hardest team. The D line, they had a Cornell and Penn State commit. Their defensive line was real tough, really tough.
This season, do you know the schedule already, or no?
Right now it's still in the works, so not necessarily, but I do know week one we got West Boca, so I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, is that home or away?
Home.
Home. Okay, in Fort Lauderdale.
Yep.
Okay, so how is that going to be like going up against Potts and the old team?
Um, I gotta handle business. I'm ready for them. I ran into them outside of football. I ran into some of the players, and they said it themselves. Like week one, what we gotta do, know what we gotta handle. I'm sure to be ready. I know we're more than ready, and I know business got to get handled. So it's not really a worry, but I feel like that get back need to happen.
Okay, all right. And what have you been up to this off season? Since it's no football, what you have planned? What's upcoming before fall comes again?
So far I've just been working on my craft, different things that I realized in my film that I needed to fix, like off rip, so stuff like that, and then also figuring out like internships and trying to get myself ready and figure out what I want to do with my career until I can be a lawyer, like while I'm still in football. So like one of the things was real estate. I could get my real estate license as soon as I graduate, and I can move on that while I'm still in school studying law. So it's always been a thing for this off season. So just working on my craft, getting better, knowing what's next.
All right, and do you work with like any specific O line coaches, around the area?
Definitely, I work with Coach Rod over at Park Vista.
Okay,
He's
I
been
know 'em.
great. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
been a great coach. His mentality, everything, his way of coaching. Like he's a great guy to be around. He does get you ready. He does get you ready for college level. Definitely. He ensures that there's no work left on that field. You got to earn the day.
Okay, you could give his company a shout out. Was it Trench
Oh
Mobile or
yeah,
something?
Trent Mob Elite.
Yeah.
Trent Mob Elite stand up.
Okay.
Um, you know, it's been great working with Coach Rod. He's a great coach, definitely.
Okay, and what's the thing that you've most improved on working with Coach Rod?
My speed definitely has improved a lot, and then my bend that was key. Like I came to him telling him I need to improve my bend, and along with the bend came the speed. So it was just hand in hand. And then my mentality, he'll let you know like my mentality was always I gotta win, I gotta win, I gotta win. And he helped me, go through that, understand like what the next level really is, like what's coming, what am I looking to? So that's been stuff that we worked on.
All right, and what's your thoughts on NIL management, the transfer portal that's going on currently in the NCAA? Everybody has their different perspectives in regards to it, but what's your thoughts on it?
My thoughts is the transfer portal is killing high school athletes definitely. It's getting out of hand because there's too many players in the transfer portal going to all different colleges and then signing with high numbers of NIL. That's how the colleges are actually winning games more and stuff. I would agree with that, but at the same time, it's also a business. Like it's a great business for athletes. That we are getting recognized for our game, our gameplay. The money that we're making is pretty good. Like I'm not mad about the NIL part, but the transfer portal part definitely like it's messing us up for high schools.
And what's the GPA currently in
Right
school?
now, I'm sitting on a 4.7.
4.7. All right,
Yes,
what's your
sir.
favorite subject?
My favorite subject had to be history. Learning about it, the teacher, she made it easy, she made it fun. So just learning about history and learning about what really made the land, like, and what's the reason behind different events that happen. Because history, you don't want it to repeat itself ever. So it's good knowing like what happened in the past, so it doesn't happen in the future, and that's something like you could apply like to yourself in a daily life. Like, okay, what happened last month can't happen this month, like stuff like that.
All right, what's one interesting thing you could tell me about history that you learned recently?
Recently, what I just got done learning with history was, um, I want to say when. Oh, I got you. So the most interesting one was when we learned how the capitalists like they came through. It's a capitalist country, so it was the Indians that came against the U.S. The U.S. set up territories all over, camps and everything, trying to take apart from them. The French was also against us, trying to. It was just a race, like trying to earn the land, like who could earn the land the most. So that was like most interesting part of history, honestly.
You mentioned that you're from Belgrade. So could you tell us more about your past being in Belgrade and how you ended up coming from Belgrade to West Boca to
Um,
Plantation?
so my past in Belgrade has always been, raised up around, the mentality, the Mutt mentality. Like you got to go get it, you got to go win. I played at Anquan Bolden Stadium, so that was something. But my mom, her values were instilled from what she was growing up around, her environment over at Belgrade. So I've always been, um, I've always been taught, like right from wrong, off rip, what to stay away from, what's good for me, what's not, and then, just working. Like that's where my work ethic is high, comes from. Chasing rabbits is real. You had to go into the field, chase rabbits, try to catch them. I personally only caught one, but I cheated. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie, I cheated. I had a carrot in my hand and I threw it and then I caught him. So that's a win for me. I'm a big guy, so it's a win for me. But it was the culture there is great. Like the history behind the muck. all these players, NFL made players, and it's giving back to the community now. Like that's the number one thing.
Okay. If you did end up staying in Belgrade, what school you would have went to? Is it Glaze Day, Pahokee, Glaze Central?
Glaze Central, shout out Glaze Central. My cousin Taj Barnes, he just quarterback there. Just graduated. He's about to go to the college level.
Oh, you
But
cool with
yeah,
Taj?
yeah.
Okay,
That's one of my
okay.
cousins. I grew up with him.
Mm-hmm. All right, applies too.
Yeah.
All right.
Anything else that the college coach about to know about me is I'm always gonna get to it. I'm always gonna grind. I'm a coach. I'm a very coachable player. Um, correct me any point. I won't take any parts in it. Tough love is good love. Soft love is good love too. But definitely, like I'm a go getter. Definitely, I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm a dominant player. I'm ready at any level. Not scared of any type of competition.
What's your mindset when you're on that field, playing offensive line? Quarterback behind you, receivers next to you. Like, what's your mindset every time the offense go on the field and you're about to
My
play?
mindset is, we got to get the ball in the end zone. The red zone is the goal, key. However, it may be between pass, run, but I gotta be dominant every time, every play of the drive. I know what business I gotta handle. Quarterback, I gotta protect him. I have to ensure, he's always good because without a quarterback, the offense can't really run. That's one of the most important keys. Another thing is making sure that us offensive line are all sound and beat at the same because five is one. If one of us is off, the whole play is off. So it always starts with us, but it always ends with them. So I would say, my mentality is I gotta understand my job, my assignment, and the quick of the spin, like in the second. So right then and there, make my call, and then I gotta get it done. I always have to get the job done as much as I can. Like
Do you see yourself playing all five positions if you have to?
if I have to, I'll play all five, even snapping the ball. Like
Okay.
I'm a very, anything I got to do for the team for us to win the game. That's the type of player I am. Doesn't matter you put me in at center, and I'll still ensure that the best plays out of me get made because that's just the type of player I am. Anything to win a game, whatever it takes.
And you've taken snaps all throughout the offensive line, right? Or is there something that you haven't played before but you're willing to play?
Which was center. I really haven't played center. It was just practice. They gave me a couple snaps at center one time, and it was all right. It's all right.
Mm,
Something I can work on definitely. If need be, I'll play center, but I don't really see myself playing center at the next level.
that's kind of weird snapping the ball, then blocking, instead of
Yeah,
just worrying about blocking as soon as the ball snap.
exactly. So it's just like worrying about the ball. But then again, the benefit with center is, your second hand is already off the floor a little bit, so
Hmm.
you got a quicker punch, quicker attack right there. But other than that, I mean, yeah, I enjoy playing tackle though. Tackle has to be like my spot. That's what I can see myself playing because it's free. Like you feel free, you're not confined. It's you. It's you and the player that you're looking for. It's space. So that's what I like.
It seems like you're athletic offensive lineman. Have you ever gotten reps at like tight end in like certain formations? Like, has that ever happened or no?
Yes, but as blocking. So
That's a blocker.
as
Okay.
a blocker, sometimes screens. We do screens, pulls, but side end. But definitely like athletic. You have to be athletic. To play all over because you have to be ready to play whatever it takes.
Okay. What's your best game you ever played? Like the game where you had the nastiest blocks, like a lot of pancakes. What is that game that we could go and
As
look
much
at?
as I said it was the hardest team, I had to be St. Joseph Prep. I had the best film clips. Blew up on Twitter. Penn State, Cornell commits. I was killing people on the floor. Like if you watch it, it's pinned. It's still pinned to this day on my X. Um, I'm killing players left and right, left and right, left and right, flattening them out. That's always been my thing. Like I'm a true finisher.
Hmm.
I love to feel like I'm dominant. Like I'm the one who really like took it out of you.
Okay. Could you tell us about that game in regards to you guys being down 28 to 0 in the first half, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And how
So
do you guys come back after that?
how do we come back? We were down, we were stressed, we were frustrated. Like, why? What's going on? Like, why can't we move? Why can't we make anything happen on the offensive side of the ball? So get in the locker room. One of the main motivational players is Buddha. Like, he boosts his energy as in like we got to get it done. Like we got to go. Like come on. Like mainly with defense too. Like that's who they look for. And, he's always gonna turn us up. Then Corey Simon. He's always on go. He's ready. Most athletic D lineman I ever played against any level. Like that had to be the most athletic D lineman I know. But it was, just that we get in the locker room. It was the mentality. The mentality had to switch. We had to switch, and we had to know. We knew what we had to get done when we got back out there at half. We had to come back. We did not think the game was over. We knew we would come back. We would win. So then we got back first half. We went in. Second half, we came back out and we started putting up numbers. We went straight. They stayed at 28. We got above, and then from there we just kept going. It was it was a train that couldn't be stopped.
Okay. There's two more questions. What's the most points you guys ever put up in a game while you was playing at Plantation, and how did you contribute to them putting up that amount of points?
I think the most we ever put up was, I want to say, about 48 running clock. And how did I contribute? Just understanding my job, my assignments, ensuring that what I had going on didn't impact the play in any negative way. Um, Ensuring that my assignment was handled, made, done at maximum effort. And just like that, we got running clock in the first half without even going in for halftime. So that was a great game. That was my sophomore year.
Yeah, it could have been more points, but after a certain amount of points, they
They
let the
run the
clock
clock,
run
yeah.
down.
They run the
So
clock down, because that'd be overkill. I'm not gonna lie, it would be overkill. So
where could we see you 5 years from now?
5 years from now, I would be, you know, in the NFL. I do want it to come definitely, but really a really academic, prestigious lawyer. Like, I just got my law degree. Handle business in school. Pledged Alpha Phi Alpha. I do want to pledge. I like that culture. So 5 years from now, that's where you will see me. You know, being somebody in my community. Um, Somebody to look up to. Like, I want the youth to look up to me. I want to be somebody. So
Okay, you say you already pledged, right?
no, I want to pledge.
You want to pledge?
Yeah, right now I am the president of the youth group that's ran by Alpha Phi Alpha. We do different community events, volunteer. Like the MLK breakfast, we're always there volunteering. Anything to do with any type of Black history, or just anything. Like, we got a step show coming up, so we also do step. It's just a whole bunch of stuff, and then we do college tours, youth summit. It teaches you how to really be a man. It instills values in you, and then it shows you, like, this is what you could be a part of, like, when you go to college. So without having to find out when you go to college, like, okay, what is this about? It's a really good program. It teaches you, values as a man, as a young man, and how to be a man in this world. As a colored man, the world is against you. It's always going to be against you. So you got to understand how to come above that.
Okay, can you show us like a little,
Oh, you want to see a step?
yeah, a little step or something? I
All right,
don't
all
know.
right, all right. I got you with a little sneak peek of what we got coming on. So, M O T MOT.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
all right. I see it. All right. Anything else you want to bring up?
Nah, it's really about it. I think we hit every key, so that's
All
really
right.
good.
All right, then there you guys have it. Brandon Adams, 2027, offensive lineman, American Heritage Plantation. We're glad to have you here.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
No problem.